Welcome back. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday. Here's another video from Nikki MG. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MG TV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. And as always, we have a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. California time, where I answer your questions. And we also have a Patreon link down below where you can donate as little as $1 and help the channel grow. We appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody keeps hitting me up on how to make rank faster, and I thought about some new tips for you guys because I realize there are some downfalls for junior enlisted when they first show up to a command, and there's some definite things that you should be doing, and a lot of things I see junior sailors that they should not be doing. So I'm going to go over some 3 rules on how you can make E4 probably the fastest. And before someone starts jamming away with their keyboard fingers right here saying that this rate makes E4, that rate makes E4, I just want to say this. Congrats, you scored high on your ASVAB and you're locked into like a 6-year contract. We know. Awesome. I'm glad you're going to make E4 right away. But for the rest of the people that are trying to struggle on from E3 to E4, this video is for you. Or maybe this video or advice will probably help you even making E5. I promise you. So I think that this also applies to even civilians, to be honest. But I want to go over the first rule of when you show up to a command and how to set the impression or the first thing. And that is, your first interaction with everybody at that command should be positive, and it's like being interviewed, because honestly, you're going to be the new guy and everyone is going to have some kind of impression of you. And if you come off as lazy or uninterested to begin with, you are probably not going to fare too well later on down the line. You definitely need to have a positive attitude. Act like you are being interviewed, even if it's just standing up to go shake someone's hand or just a smile or something like that. I promise you those little things are going to go a long way. And at a command, I see too many people that just don't embrace talking to everybody. Don't be scared to go up to other people and say, hey, my name is Seaman so-and-so in your workspace. I'm new to the area. I just want to introduce myself. That will go a long way. Mind you, your sponsor should be the one kind of taking you around to every place. But if you do that on your own without that person being there and introducing it and you being that face, they're going to be like, wow, this person really cares and they want to see what this place is about. I'm trying to help you guys get in the mindset of who's going to be evaluating you. And I'm not saying just put on an act. I'm saying do this because you genuinely want to know these people. You're going to have to work with them on a daily basis. But just make sure you are out there showing face, because a lot of people forget that a lot of the military is perception. And if you're able to show face, have a smile, shake a hand or two, and on top of that work hard, it definitely will carry you through your naval career or military career in general. And also, respect is a major factor when you're introducing yourself. Make sure you're using rank. Make sure that you are addressing everyone properly, because if you're very laxy-daisy and you just show up with no military bearing, trust me, you will be noticed right away as well. Also, your uniform should be impeccable to the point where you don't have anyone questioning it. Like, it should be inspection ready. I know a lot of you guys think that boot camp is this major portion of your career, but everything you learn being inspection ready in boot camp carries for the rest of your career. You will probably never see Nikki show up to a command not inspection ready, because the fact that everybody, no matter what, even if you know you're checking in on a Saturday, you don't know who's going to be there on a Saturday or a Sunday or Christmas or whatever day that you're going to be there. So make sure that you guys are showing up ready to go and your uniform is squared away. That really carries on first impressions, because that's going to set the tone for the rest of this entire conversation of how to make E4 the fastest. That is, when you get there, as well as when you're shaking your hands and doing all that, you're going to be introduced to a lot of people within the chain of command. And this is your opportunity. I say that because a lot of times you have junior sailors that are coming in and the first thing they think about is me, more, and me. Everywhere is just about me. When am I going to live out in town? How fast can I do this? When can I take college? When can I? And I promise you that I understand you guys have a lot of these questions in hand, but there are more important questions that will bring those returns full circle before you guys even have to ask about it. That's because going out in town and living out in town or being able to do X, Y, and Z in the military comes with time, and there's a process for it. So I want to let you guys know, the first day that you see your chief or your commanding officer or whoever is probably not the best impression or the best time to do it. The question you should be asking are probably, what deficiencies do you see in our organization right now on this ship or this hospital or wherever you're stationed at, no matter where you're at, what service. That means when it comes to your evaluation, how you should be performing, you should be thinking only one thing. how can I contribute to making that happen? And this is essential because you can trickle down stuff from what your chief says to what your CO says to what everybody in the chain of command is going to say to you. And you can kind of take the information and then you're like, okay, this is what my job focus should be. This is what I should be going towards. This is what I should be looking at doing. Now, the third thing that you should be focusing on after you introduce yourself, you're on point, you're on spot, everything's good, you're shaking hands, smiles, you're asking what they need done when you're here and what to expect during your time on board, right? This is your time to shine. So now the last thing to do, and this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you execute everything. This is where you take all the information you've been given and you start putting it into your own formula and how you can make your spot within the command. This is where I see a lot of people fail because they kind of like don't understand what the expectations are of being in the military and how you're judged against other people. So I will tell you in one word, and that is leadership. How can you lead other people to a total goal of whatever it is? And a lot of people think it's like you have to do some organization that's already created, such as like a junior enlisted association, which you'll be told to join all the time. And like you have to follow this pipeline path of doing this to this to this, and you're not going to enjoy it. And so what I want you guys to be challenged to do really as of this video, if you're a junior sailor now or you are going to join the military, is do not always follow the pipeline that is laid out, such as if there's already an organization. That's great if you want to do that, but make your own organization or your own modifications to how you can do things, because I promise you it will be more rewarding and more enjoyable. I will give a instance that I did this because I didn't want to do the typical bake sale volunteer opportunities that are in the Navy, and you'll hear jokes about that all the time. And so I was like, yeah, that's not what I want to do, but I want to do something that I can offer to other people while still getting my hours of community service and stuff in to look better in my evaluations. So what I saw was when I was in Spain, there was a skate park that was actually not being used at all on base. And I drove by it several times looking at what was going on. I just saw that these ramps were sitting rusting away. And as an avid skateboarder for like the past 13 years, I was like, I need to probably inquire about this because I definitely see potential in this area. So Roto was a small community where I actually got in contact with one of the youth program coordinators. We ended up buying ramps and stuff. We did a skate camp 2 years in a row, which I did the last year, but there were some coordination issues. But I saw a huge turnout. Like there were so many kids that I was like, I needed more people to help instruct the course, and more people were interested, and I got to actually do something I enjoyed. I did skate camp lessons type things back when I was a teenager, so I just kind of applied it somewhere else, and it worked, and it stuck, and people were asking when I would do this stuff again. So what I'm getting at is don't always stick to the pipeline of this stuff of what the military has set up. You can kind of do your own thing and make it your own. That way you actually enjoy it because this is your career. So I see it as a potential growth opportunity to not only network outside in the community and do what you enjoy, but also make an impact. I mean, that's what the whole volunteer thing is about. But people lose sight of that because evals and everything else falls into how the military is ran, that sometimes it's not really seen as a benefit. Whereas like I realized if I gave back first, and that was my first idea on how I could give back the most, I actually got more in return out of it than just my evaluation. And I got tons more hours and I got more opportunities after that. So let's recap how you're going to make E-4 the fastest. Introduce yourself, have a good first impression. Second, you're going to ask what are the deficiencies with the organization that you're currently at, what command, whatever is needed to be done, what is the first line of sight that needs to be improved and how you can do that, and offer your skills up to do it. Third is to lead in whichever way possible, even as an E2, E3. Fight for any leadership, and if you can't find a position, make your own if you can. And that's because, honestly, no one's going to do this stuff for you. So if you have something even outside that no one in the Navy knows about that you're leading, such as like a Boy Scouts thing or something at church, definitely go into that if you can, because I promise you no one's going to create these opportunities for you except for you. So those are some of the 3 things that you can expect to do in order to make E4 the quickest, unless you're a nuke or whatever else. But I promise you guys that skill set will definitely help you even for E5 and E6 and these other ranks that are out there. So as always, guys, if you guys have questions, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And as always, we have a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. California time, where I answer your questions. We also have a Patreon link down below where you can donate as little as $1. Help the channel grow. We appreciate it. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
I've been feeling so down. I think they should know now. I think they should know what's up. That's that road I've been down. I know how it go down. I know how it go. Now what's up?